When is she doing dance? Kyla told me she went to that.
That's good.
You know that. You read it. It's a few days apart. It will be 8 o'clock.
All right, is everybody ready? Everybody's got snacks? Everybody's seated in, settled in? Well, hello everyone. I'm Emmy Lou Porter, one of the founding members of Power 100 Women Lincoln County. Thank you all for attending this evening. We're excited to have our 12th Power 100 Women event tonight. I'm going to share a couple of quick updates about Power 100 Women. First, we were invited to apply for the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation. That is the founder of Best Buy. They have a match, which is up to 50% match for our donation. So we submitted our first application for our last winner, Quatina M. Wolver Foundation of Hope, and we received notification that the grant will be awarded in September. So when we submitted that application, we had received $6,296 of the $7,000 that we ultimately collected. So the match could be up to $3,148, and we will find out the amount in September, and we will let you all know as soon as we find out. So for that application also, we have to submit it within 30 days of tonight's meeting. So that's why we push to get those donations in, so we can get the donation total submitted and all the other facts about the charity, and get those submitted on time before the deadline. So that's really exciting. And then to date, we have collectively donated $61,712 to benefit Lincoln County. As of tonight, we have 69 members and 6 teams, so we are getting there. Our goal is 100 women, and our plan is to tally the results and share those at the November meeting, so that any changes that we make will begin in February, or beginning for 2024, so before our February meeting. I'm not tongue-tied at all. All right, so now we will begin. Our 3 nonprofits presenting tonight are Fayetteville Main Street, Friends of Lincoln County Sheriff, and Simply the Truth Ministries. Each will present for a maximum of 5 minutes with an additional 5 minutes for questions. Then all individual members and 1 person from each team will vote electronically. The link for the vote has been emailed to members. We will open the vote link after all nonprofits have presented, and then we will give everyone 5 minutes to vote, and we will then announce the winner. You will make your check payable to the winner and submit all donations by August 21st, which is a week from today. So now is the time for our presentations. So presenting first will be Amy from Fayetteville Main Street.
Mary Ginger is going to bring y'all some of our rack cards. We're in between cheer and dance, so please forgive me if I have to duck out of here after I talk about Main Street. So if you're not familiar with Main Street, we're responsible for a lot of the events downtown, and not just events, but we also create a network with businesses all over the county, and we promote our downtown for tourism purposes and for locals. We work on the economic development team with Elaine Emilou and John Hatfield, who is our regional economic development director. To try to decide what we would like to recruit to come to Lincoln County. So what we're specifically working on right now, we just applied for the Downtown Improvement Grant this past week, And 200,000, so we're applying for 300,000 in funds. 200,000 will go to our property owners downtown, and 100,000 will go to a public improvements project for the city. So 50,000 of that, we're gonna, hopefully, if we get the grant, knock on wood, y'all pray for us. 50,000 will go towards the foliage for the sidewalk project, and the other 50,000 is going to go towards a parklet or a pocket park. I'm sure most people are familiar with the Love Garden right over here on Elk Avenue. Since the two keepers of the park have moved on, we would love to make something that will be very useful. So we'll pass this around, and I'll leave this here. Oh, it's okay. We're fine. Sit down. So we'll have AstroTurf and pavers. Sit down, Mary Ginger. And we'll also have ceramic porcelain planters and tables and benches, so that for some of the downtown events, people will have somewhere to go sit and congregate and fellowship. And then we'll also have games like tic-tac-toe that they can use on the pavers and Jenga. So I'll pass this around. Y'all want to see this?
No.
Please, Mary Ginger. But that's the main thing that we would like to use the funds for if we are awarded. We have been very, very busy. We've done a lot of work. I don't know if y'all remember, there used to be a shoe store on this location. Do any of y'all remember that on the Love Garden? Apparently it was years and years and years ago. So what they did, apparently there was a basement, and when they knocked it down, they just buried it all in the basement. So the soil will have to be dug out and then compacted. So it's going to be, more than $50,000. So we're hoping we can use that money towards the tables and benches. And they are very sustainable. They're porcelain. Lots of other Main Street programs use the company that we have priced things from. And then also on the back wall of that building, or you can see it's kind of Lawson's, and I need to talk to Mickey about it first. If I could get another grant to do a mural on the back of that wall, I'd love to put 50 state flowers that represent all the 50 states in the Union. And so it would not necessarily be the Love Garden, but more of like a unity garden that would represent coming together and having a social gathering place downtown. So, and not just for events, but like if somebody wanted to grab a sandwich from Sheila's and go sit, across the street, that would be the place to be. So, do y'all have any questions for me? Yeah? Okay. And again, I apologize. We are on our way to cheer practice at Unity. Yeah, for her. So I'm sorry that I have to leave, but thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Amy, for presenting. Next will be Friends of the Lincoln County Sheriff.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetie.
I just had knee surgery, so.
I think you're doing great if you just had knee surgery.
It's been 4 weeks.
Yeah, she's done real good.
My name is Mary Ann Marshuk, and I am with the Lincoln County, Friends of the Lincoln County Sheriff. But my whole purpose for being here tonight is to partner with a program called Lincoln County Anti-Drug Coalition, which is a very small, pretty well unknown program here in Lincoln County. The purpose of the Anti-Drug Coalition is to educate people in how to prevent drug use. Drugs are in Lincoln County, and they're in all demographics: black, white, female, male, young, old, rich, and poor. What we're trying to do is get in ways to prevent the drug usage. We partner with the National Guard. They will bring in a stash it trailer that you can go through and find out where your children hide their drugs or where the adults hide their drugs. It's quite an interesting little trailer that they have. We don't have an office. We don't have any employees. We use the Family Resource Officer's phone number. That's how small we are. And drugs affect various people. May not affect you today, but someday you don't know. They're here, and they're getting worse. Fentanyl is big, and they put it in everything. So we're trying to make people aware. Our purpose is to educate the community. let you know what's out there and what's available if you have a drug problem or if you know someone that has a drug problem. We do the drug take-back program every April and October, and you drive through Lincoln County High School, throw us your drugs, and we give them to the National Guard and they dispose of them properly rather than you flushing them down the toilet and putting them back into the groundwater. We have a network of providers that we can get you in touch with if you find somebody that needs help with drugs, needs help with drugs. If you have somebody that has a drug problem or know of somebody, we can find somebody that can get them a bed, get them in a program, get them the help they need, and get the family the help they need to get through this. We do the drug take back. We have something called Count It, Lock It, Drop. Count It, Drop It, Lock It. They're boxes that you can get that you can put your drugs in. If you have, shall we say, unsavory people coming into your house, you can lock your drugs in the box, count them, and then nobody can get to them. If you need any of those, we can get them. They used to have some at Carter's, but I'm not sure if they have them anymore. We partnered with the National Guard to do a program called CAMP. It was a children's attitude motivational program. It was like a boot camp of 6 weeks. And through the juvenile court system, we got children that we thought we could save. And this program, I think we had a very small, we had a 99% success rate. We had maybe, the years we had it, maybe 4 that have repeated, which is pretty good, okay? And the National Guard really worked with these kids. And a lot of the kids would say, well, why am I here? So-and-so did worse. Well, you're here because we think you can save you. We're going to save you. We do lunch and learns, town hall meetings. We will bring in people to speak about the evils of drugs. Most of the people that we deal with, that we interact with, have been through the drug rehab program, and now they are out there helping others. So you're going to get firsthand help from people that are out there. We also brought the Narcan training to town. Since we didn't have a place to have them, the health department is now doing the Narcan training. The big thing that we've got going on now is Recovery Fest. I don't know if anybody knows about Recovery Court. It's something that Judge Myrick is sponsoring and takes care of. When they finish we now do felons and misdemeanors on drug charges. Once you complete this 1-year program, the Anti-Drug Coalition sponsors Recovery Fest. And what we do is we celebrate those that have completed the program. And at Recovery Fest, which is October 14th at Stonebridge Park, we will have vendors there from all areas of recovery. From, the hospitals, the psychologists, everybody. They will all be there to help people. We'd like to have the community come out. We're not going to say, oh, she had a drug problem. We're going to try to help you to give you the guidance that you need. And we're going to celebrate the people that have completed this. It's not easy to get over drug usage. It's in your system. You just want it. You'll do anything for drugs. So if we can get Recovery Fest, we did it last year for the first time, and I made everybody in Anti-Drug Coalition agree to do it a second year if the first year flopped. But we were successful, and we got lots of compliments for doing it for the first time. So Recovery Fest, talked about Recovery Court, and there are more things that we could do, but we don't have any money. I'll be perfectly honest. We don't have any money. We don't have a lot of fundraising. We don't have a lot of people in our group. So we're dependent on whatever little money we get out of. I think we get money from the youth services officer when they do drug testing, but we don't get a lot of funding. But there are so many things that we could provide to the community as far as training and like lunch and learns, town hall meetings, to let people know that we're there to help you. And we're always looking for other options to provide training and prevention to the community. That's about it. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
At your fest that you're having, do you have a work program there where there can be like a job fair or anything?
No, it's not a job fair.
I mean, for abusers that can maybe need to find a job or
Well,
you can help them?
I'm not sure what vendors are coming right now. I know we've got like 20 of them lined up. What we're trying to do with the thing is we want to give them like an incentive, like I'd like to use some of the money to buy like gift cards or something for the graduates, because they get a certificate. That isn't much. They need to be rewarded with something more than a piece of paper that says, hey, you graduated. And we could have more lunch and learns to get people involved with the program. Like I said, we're very small. There's like maybe a dozen of us that actually run this program. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a social media presence where we could bring people there so that you got more awareness? I mean, how
Yes,
do you
yes.
find out?
The Anti-Drug Coalition does have a Facebook page.
Okay.
I don't know the last time it's been updated because I'm terrible at it. I'll admit, I'm terrible at updating. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any AA or ACA programs here?
A what?
Churches that Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and the drug, do you have any of those here in town?
I know there's AA meetings and I know there's drug meetings, but I don't know. We don't run them. Those are usually run, I think, through church groups or something. But we don't run them because we don't have the facilities or anything to run a program like that. You have to have special training to run AA and all those kind of meetings. They're special programs. Anybody? I don't know if anybody.
Well, there's one here, isn't there?
Yes, there
I
is.
thought there was. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one here, they have it at Unit Person.
Yeah, but most of the drug stuff is run through, like I said, the recovery court takes the people through. It's quite an intensive program, from what I understand. Yes, ma'am.
Another thing, I had no idea until my daughter, who thankfully she's fine, and is not a drug user, but her doctor was telling her that in Lincoln County there is a huge contingent of drug use among pregnant women.
Really?
And I had no idea of that. She told her that she was so happy to see someone come through that had no addictions or problems whatsoever, because it's just such a huge problem. So in regard to like the lunch and learn, I wondered if there was, I would just like to put a bug in your ear that I don't know where you would go to reach these girls, but it would be a nice thing if, they weren't taking drugs at all, but certainly not while they're pregnant.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with COVID kind of stopped us from doing a whole lot of stuff. So we're getting back into it. But we can do a lunch and learn or a town hall meeting on just about anything. I'm sure the church here would let us use it. We have had a town hall here where Dr. Scott came in. He was a great surgeon, I think, or a physician or something. And he had one of the biggest drug problems in the world. And he will tell you his story. Like I said, drugs cross all lines of society. The person next to you could be a druggie and you wouldn't even know it. I mean, not saying that any of you are, but but you know what I'm saying? I mean, they're everywhere. And Lincoln County likes to deny that we have a drug problem, but believe me, we have a drug problem. I mean, it's here, and trying to get rid of it is a big problem. Sheriff's Department, city has problem with it. Everybody has a problem with drugs, but everybody wants to deny they're here. I mean, we were working with the National Guard. I've gone to training through the National Guard, through their anti-drug coalition, or their anti-drug task force, and you wouldn't believe it. It's unbelievable. Anything else?
When was your recovery fest in October?
October 14th from 10 to 2 at Stonebridge Park. Please come. Please come and support these people that have worked so hard to get rid of that addiction they had. And like I said, Recovery Court has misdemeanors and felonies. So we're covering a gambit of people with that program. Anybody else? Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. And presenting next is Simply the Truth Ministries.
I've told everybody I don't know why I'm so nervous tonight. But thank you so much for having us and for selecting us to have an opportunity to share with you about our ministry, Simply the Truth. My name is Tammy Haney. My husband Daryl and I have been married 43 years. And we never dreamed the journey that God has brought us on in doing disaster relief and doing ministry. Tonight I want to share with you a little bit about Manifold Grace. There are some brochures on most of the tables. I can get some to you if you'd like. But Manifold Grace was, it's 1 Peter 4:10 says, as each one has received a special gift, employ it in serving one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. Simply the Truth Ministries was established in 1998, and our main focus at that time was in youth and camp ministry. So we partnered with the court system for a while, and we hosted some camps out on our camp property, and it was a beautiful experience. 2001, God provided the opportunity for us to have this ministry property to do camp ministries. In April of 2014, Manifold Grace was birthed out of a natural disaster, a tornado, on April the 28th, 2014. The tornado that ripped through Lincoln County, it brought devastation to many in our community. We were one of those that it affected. Our home was destroyed. Our son's home was destroyed. The church we were attending was destroyed. One of our cabins and a lot of the structures on our camp ministry property was also destroyed. But that night, God started laying on our hearts a longing to respond to victims in the aftermath of those disasters. And our mission is to bring calm to the chaos in Jesus' name. Over the past years and recent years, we've had a lot of opportunities to serve families in the community and individuals here in Lincoln County. We've done cleanup after storms. We've done that we primarily focus on widows, the elderly, single moms, but we focus on anyone that might have a need. We've taken care of storm damage. We've taken care of some flooding issues for family. There's 2 families that we helped in the Mimosa area. One was a couple that just didn't have the resources and didn't have insurance. So went in and ripped up their floors, their subflooring, went under and took out all the ductwork, put in new ductwork and a heating and air conditioning unit. We've worked also with temporary housing, providing for people in either hotel or rental homes while homes they were waiting for their insurance to decide what they were going to do. I know this past April we helped 2 families with that. We provided window air conditioning units for a young widow mother with 4 children, and she was renting a home and didn't have the resources after the loss of her husband. So we've been able to help with projects like that. The most recent one here in Lincoln County was providing a storm shelter for a family that has 2 sons that have muscular dystrophy and in wheelchairs, and was able to help that project. We're currently in the process with disaster relief, with disasters, and if you're watching the news, they're continually happening. And as time progresses, as time goes on, they're going to happen more and more and more. Daryl currently is, while I'm here tonight, as he said, here you go, I've got training. He's in Mount Juliet doing training right now, and this is his heart and passion. The night of the tornado that it hit us, he was up and down Smith Mill Road, over in the subdivision, knocking on doors, helping the sheriff's department do recovery and check to see if people were okay, checking on our neighbors. So that is something that I'm very passionate about. With the funding that we potentially could get, we currently are building a structure on the ministry property to house supplies and donations. We learned through that disaster that that people have good intentions when a disaster happens, but when you've lost your home, you don't need furniture and you don't need those things at that time. You need somebody to come with a tote of cleaning supplies or a tote of garbage bags or food and water, pet products, anything like that. So we're preparing totes with specific items that we experienced to be able to go out and just start distributing to those that have been affected by a disaster. So we've got the structure built. Daryl's doing a lot of it himself. We have some volunteers, and I have 4 grandsons that are helping, teaching them young. But working on that, funds would be used to the inside, building shelving and that sort of thing, and to help purchase supplies. Most of our funding right now comes from just individual sponsorships. We have a few church sponsorships. We've had some businesses that have given. Daryl is employed by the ministry, but really doesn't have a salary. But he retired as a school teacher from Lincoln County. He'd been there over 20 years, so now he is full engaged with all of this. We do have a board members of 8, totaling 8 individuals. And then we just have a host of volunteers. When a disaster happens, he'll put a call out and they're ready to go. And these individuals have helped in so many areas in rebuild and projects through our community. And we go beyond. We've been everywhere. The most recent out-of-state project was in Kentucky. The big floods in Kentucky. If anybody ever wants a copy, I'll get you a copy of the video, but from the beginning to the end. And the most beautiful thing about that I can brag on my Lincoln County is we put the word out, and businesses within this community stepped up. Mathis Flooring donated all the flooring. Thumper Pig and the company that he works for handmade this young girl and her 2 kids. She's young and has 2 children at home. Made her kitchen cabinets. I was trying to think. There's a little guy that he got the air conditioning unit for us at his cost and came in and installed. And this was a 10-month project. But she's got a brand new home now, and thankfully it's the volunteers of this community, plus the businesses in this community that gave so much. But, simply the truth, we love our community. Daryl offers training that he can help as far as chainsaw, flood recovery. We do those types of trainings for our volunteers. So when we go out, we get a call out. Everybody's equipped to go. But I really appreciate y'all letting me share a little bit about it. I feel like I'm tongue-tied and rambling through, but I appreciate this opportunity to share. And if you like a brochure, I'll be happy to get one to you. Anybody have any questions for me? That's what I was nervous about. Y'all going to ask me a question. Did I? I was like, oh, are they going to ask me questions? Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, 3, for taking the time to come here and speak to us about your organization and how you assist our community. So now it is time to vote. Each of our members received an email with a link to cast their vote. You have 5 minutes to submit your vote. And if you have any questions, let us know, and we will announce the winner shortly. And if you need a paper ballot, we'll bring them around.
They had a paper ballot over there.
By the time I pull it up on the video, it'll be open.
I'll leave.
Okay, she'll come in. I gotta have to go here. I got to go to the side itself. Okay.
Well, I think that's the one. We do a lot as we see. But Daryl is actually we got a phone call last was a hurricane there. And I think after you experience something like that firsthand, you understand the need, the immediate needs. And we've been here since 95. There probably is some relation. My in-laws both were from here. My mother-in-law was a cash originally from England. And Mr. Haney's family was. He worked here, they couldn't, early 30s, late 30s, early 40s. They worked here, so Mr. Haney lived in Nashville. That's where I'm from originally, Daryl is too.
From where?
Nashville.
Been here a long time.
We've been here a long time. We've been down here since 1995.
You're a Fayetteville.
I am a Fayetteville, oh, sure. Thank you, dear. No, thank you so much.
You good? Getting ready to vote?
Right.
Where's the site?
It makes a difference.
Where's the site?
Be the start.
Why don't you get the site? I got the email today.
Well, I tell you, I think the key for us in this community would be to train officials, maybe to have hands-on experience in the community to learn. You know, it's not about efficiency, it's about the next person.
That's okay, I'll write.
Did you take one of these with you? I do. Got one? That's it. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
See you soon. All right.
Thank you.
Daryl taught me to cut off.
Okay, just make it out to them and I'll give, because I can't go outside and get Richard's money.
His number's on the
Gene. And then you make it out to them, we'll get
What do we do in the
It'll still be the same difference, won't it? What's today?
See, and if you don't like his, he needs to first what are my teams that are chainsaw? So Daryl has been there all this training, he's single hours in the
I'm going to car get Bridget's money. Because she gave me her
You
money.
gotta call him first about personality.
And you maybe just make out, let me make out the insurance. That'd be easy. Just make yours out to me. And that'll be good. That's how I'll. Bye-bye. Have a good one, man. Yeah, that'll be easy.
Can you imagine that you had to say
That's true.
it did Matt. My son Matt, his first disaster relief trip was his 9th grade year to the ice storms in Arkansas. And that's just like his middle son, Ezra. Carson will be 14.
We'll see who's going to win. That'll be easy.
Yeah. Ezra just turned 9 and he's 7.
I still need to find that.
I like working with him. And so he did some training himself. He'll go out and do and they're gone. With the badging. If you recall, there was teams, I mean,
Yeah, it was Saturday.
8 and 20 that could go
It was,
with
I had gone to church on Friday night.
that are trained and
We
ready
had
to
a
go.
prayer service. And when I woke up, I was thinking,
You gotta get it and there have been things here recently where we want to go, but you go and call and find out who really is. There's not one
Will
there.
you go to our 100 women?
I saw it.
If you call there and said,
No, you text me
I
at
need
8:42
change
and said, today,
or in a
Oh, yeah. We went to the level of game at 4 o'clock, so I probably got to see how it goes before time was over.
it was wild.
We left about 2:30.
Oh my God, how is it?
But if you've got those,
Rich is gone out of town.
she's going to be there to do
I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
I told him, I said, my husband got
Is he going for school? Is that what it's all about?
it's not this.
Who's your family here? Who's Richard? Who is her? Troy. Fitzgerald is there.
On trips that I've gone with them,
Yes, yes.
everything.
We don't know.
From mud out to drywall, to do redo.
Is that right?
I do the dragons. I watch the corn. Well, here's another thing that we're gonna do too. Which I mentioned this here now. We're gonna look on the next item is trying to go and buy containers and build a shower and laundry facility that you can
Now,
take
is
out.
this a vacation or is he delivering?
So that you can come pick your shower and wash it. So if you have that going on, you know, we have that. That's I'm thinking of things that I guess I was. Thank you. Things that I forgot to mention was we were talking the other day. Somebody donated a large kids that we had set up. So Daryl and I were looking at cargo containers taken, which you don't have to do everything. There's not much that they can't do. Because, like I said, we never knew God had all this. But to build a cargo container, take it and equip it as a shower facility and a laundry facility. So where the disaster is at, say a tornado comes through in the northern part of the county, we'll take the TV out of the northern part of the county, as far as getting the tree and debris. But you've got families that might be, you know, they need somewhere to stay there and know it's okay. They're staying at school, they've got buildings to live in. They can take a good shower, we can wash their clothes. And that's something that, for that, and even the workers. So you never, you know, I was with him in Louisiana.
Everybody's turned in their rights, right? Nobody's holding on to that.
We were working with a family that they were living in a pop-up tent, a pop-up camper in their front yard. Their Sunday was in our.
All right, so the votes are in. Everybody, please remember to share the missions of each of these groups with your friends, families, coworkers, so that we can continue to support all of these organizations. Tonight's winner is Friends of the Lincoln County Sheriff. Please remember to make checks payable to Friends of Lincoln County Sheriff and submit all donations by August 21st. Thank you so much for spending time with us tonight, and remember to visit power100womenlc.com to become a member and register for our next event, which will be November 13th. Thank y'all.